So, good afternoon to all, and welcome to Roaring Cycle Spotlight. Today, we are going to have another passionate biker narrate her story across, and she is an amateur racer. She loves to go on trekking. So, welcome to the show, Sonali. Hi, good
Hey,
afternoon to you,
hey
and
everyone,
welcome
good
to Roaring
afternoon.
Cycle Spotlight. How are you?
Thank you. I am doing good. How about you?
Good afternoon again, and welcome to the show.
Hi.
Uh,
Hi, good
I
afternoon,
was just
everyone. Good afternoon, Shilpa.
introducing you briefly to the audience and saying that you love to go trekking, you love to bike around, you've done a lot of rides, and also you are now getting into racing. I mean, you're an amateur racer and you have done a lot. So, without wasting much time, tell us something about yourself other than biking. We will leave the biking a little bit aside, but yeah, what are you as a person and professionally?
Professionally, I'm a network engineer, so I've done my engineering in electronics and communication, and I have been a network engineer with Cisco for about 7 years, and for the last 2 years, I was with the MC.
Okay.
And yeah, other than biking, I love to stargaze. Like I like to go up to the roof and look at these stars and constellations. I don't have any fancy telescope or anything, but I just like to identify stars in the night sky.
Okay. Yeah. So you were saying that you love to stargaze. So, and yeah, you don't have any fancy equipment, but uh,
Yeah.
you can still view the stars. Uh, so let me know. Okay. So, when and how did your biking start?
When is a little tricky. It has been, not one definite moment, but a series of such moments. So yeah, if you can say, it was like back when I was a toddler. In fact, that my dad had to give me a bike ride before he went to office and after he came back from office. That is before I started talking. Uh, so every day before office, he had to take me for a ride, come back and give me a ride. And in case the day he becomes late, he drags his bike and goes, because if I wake up, then he'll be even more late.
Mm-hmm.
And then after college, I started riding bikes, but in a small scale, because when it's not your own bike, you can't really go too far. It's just that in and around the colony. And being an introvert, I can't ask from everyone. So if it's a really good friend, maybe, one or two, that's it. But then after passing out, after 4 years, I got my bike, and that was a secret. I didn't tell him that I bought it. I told after 6 months, and that was an R15 version 2. So that was
Uh-huh.
back in 2013.
Okay.
So that is when I started actively riding. And then after that, there was no looking back. I've taken the R15 version 2 to Gujarat, Bombay, Kanyakumari. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Sonali, where are you from, and where are you based right now?
I am born in Jamshedpur. I've changed 13 schools till I passed out class 12th. I started
Wow.
working in Delhi. Now I'm working from Bangalore. So we are Bangalorean for now.
That's great. So, I mean, 13 schools, you must have made a lot of friends and must have, I mean, that itself must have been a journey for you, right?
Yeah, so it's a pure cocktail, like, all across India, north, south, east, west, covered every direction.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, and yeah, you said you're getting into racing as well. So, is it like
Yeah.
off-road racing or a track racing, or what kind of racing are you getting
So
into?
it was a track racing. I was always fascinated with racing, and there was a serial while growing up, Street Hawk. So I really wanted to be a biker since then. Watching it was a Doordarshan serial when we were like really toddler days. So yeah, And then even I tour on a sports bike. So I had a fascination for sports bike, and I go on long tours as well on my sports bike only. Then on 2016, we got a chance from Honda that they were having a all-female race. So we got selected, 10 of them. There were 30 entries, 10 got selected for the
Uh-huh.
finals. And 2017, the same thing was done by TVS, that they had camps all across the country and selected girls in the first round. And people who made it the first round were finally racing in Chennai and Coimbatore in round 2 and 3 subsequently.
Cool. Yeah, I remember Street Hawk. I used to watch that, and that was one of the amazing shows that I loved. I loved to see the bike, the way it used to behave, and then the helmet, all the digital stuff happening inside the helmet, and all that. It was, yeah, I think it must have been a fascination for all those people. I mean, all those kids who have been watching it during that era. I would say it was amazing. Yeah. Definitely. So, Sonali, you said you have been on your bike. I mean, you have been to a lot of rides and all that. Can you share some of your experience around it, or something that is a very sweet memory for you, or any particular
I
journey?
didn't, I didn't get the question.
Okay. First of all, Lalit Verma says, "थोड़ा हंस भी लिया करो, madam." Like he was fine. Of course, you have a very sweet smile. You look quite serious though. But so I was asking, you have done a lot of rides. So tell us briefly about the rides that you have done, and also something that has left a sweet memory with you. Any particular journey that you would like to talk about?
So yeah, every ride there is a memory, and every ride is special that you do, and there is a takeaway from all the rides. Whether it's a small one or a long tour. There is a special event and a special learning from each one of the rides. Something that I would like to specifically mention is my Sikkim, North Sikkim ride. So it was a solo, my first solo,
Okay.
and I was doing it ex Calcutta, where my parents are located. So it's very challenging to round one convince them that yeah, I want to go, and then they're like, "Akele kyun jaogi? Go with someone." And why do you want to go? Firstly, why do you want to go? You can relax and have a luxurious holiday with the same money. Like, why kill yourself half the way in such cold climates, and that too on a rented bike? But then I was like, even I'm afraid, but then I want to overcome the fear. Like, and that is when my dad, with there was a lot of convincing happening, but with this line, they were like, okay, they got it. And in fact, my dad sponsored my trip as well. That I said, even
Oh,
I'm
nice.
scared, I've never done it, but I wish to do it and overcome my fear. And because they were roads with no network, and because of the recent flood and the political situation because of the Gorkha land, there was
Uh-huh.
zero tourism. Like, there were days I was alone in the hotel. Oh my god, I was
Oh.
waiting for morning to happen. It was like a perfect haunted movie scene. It becomes dark by 4:30, and then
Yeah.
till 9 o'clock. And that fellow was so sweet, the caretaker. He kept coming in, "Ma'am, you want water? Ma'am, you want food? Ma'am, you want tea?" And I'm like, just leave me alone till 6 in the morning. I don't want anything. Because it was just me and him in that whole four-story building. So,
Okay.
and I couldn't find anyone on the way even to take a photo. There were just some laborers who work for road construction, and some
Uh-huh.
one or two army trucks you would see in a day. That's all. Like, for 3 days, that's all the people I saw. That
Okay.
some few army trucks and few people like solo. It's like there would be other travelers. You are solo, but there is somebody else along. That solo was like you are just yourself. I dropped my bike once, and usually I don't pick it up because I've dropped my bike 2, 3 times before, and there's somebody who would come. The good guys, they come pick it up. Only when you open the helmet, they step back as if it's an alien when they discover that you are a female. Like,
Yeah.
you fall down, they come pick you up, and the moment you take off, in the small town, the moment you take off your helmet, and they all will take 2 steps back as if
Correct.
alien came out of a helmet.
Yeah.
So there I'm like looking if someone's there to come pick up the bike because it's heavy and it's cold. Okay, so you lose half your
Crazy.
strength in high altitudes. Anyways, there's like a 15,000, you can't breathe, so you just half strength is gone
Yeah.
with the cold. So I was just looking, koi to aa jaye, kahin se to aa jaye. I sat next to the bike for 5 minutes, and then I gathered all the strength and I said, chalo uthate hain. With all the YouTube videos that we see, that you turn your back and you sit, and then this is how you do it. So I was like, okay, time to implement it. But it was a good experience. And since it was rented gears, it wasn't a very good fit. And the helmet, it was fogging up completely.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
so cold. If I put down the
Hmm.
visor, it's fogging up. If I put up the visor,
It's
there
cold,
you
yeah.
go, minus 15 air on your face. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, yeah, so where did this happen? Did this happen in Latun or near Gudungmar, or where exactly?
Yumthang, near Yumasandang. So
Yungthang, yeah.
before this ride, so you learn a lot, okay? Before this ride, Gangtok was the only Sikkimese city I knew of. Like, Sikkim, Gangtok, as they teach in school, capital. That's all. And
Mm.
what else is there to Sikkim? Now I can say names of places that even people who have studied there for 4 years don't know. Like people who have studied in Sikkim, Manipal for 4 years. Oh, I went to Zero Point, I went to Yumisandong, and I went to Lachen, I went to Thangu. And they're like, where are these places? We have not even heard. I said, take a bike and go. You'll find it out in 1 week.
Absolutely, yeah. So,
So yeah,
yeah, Abhishek
my
wants to
question
know.
was,
Yeah,
what went
Abhishek
through
was
your
asked.
mind?
Correct.
So what goes through your mind is because you're traveling alone, and your mind is not never stable, and places like this you kind of introspect, retrospect, and lot of things. So what went through my mind is that there's so much more in life to look forward to, and there's so much vastness to life and so many other things to look forward, enjoy, experience, that we should stop brooding about what went wrong. Probably, yeah, analyze it once, fix it, but there's just so much more to look forward to, and there's so much joy and happiness to share.
Yeah, so typically what do you, I mean, was it like, since it was your first solo journey, so what made
Yeah.
you actually think even about going solo? As in was there any particular incident, or is it just that you picked up, I mean, you just wanted to do something
One, I
solo?
was doing it ex Calcutta, so ex Bangalore, anyways, you are riding for 4, 5 years, you have a lot of friends, so you just drop a one-liner in the group when you want to go somewhere, even if it's ad hoc, if you want to go for tea to the airport or just to drive till Kolar, you just mention it, and they have somebody who will join you who's free, right? And if it's a long ride, of course, it's planned that we are going here, and two, three like-minded people join in. So since it was ex
Yeah,
Calcutta, I didn't know many people from, and the Shara times. So, people have priority with
yeah,
puja and everything. So, and
Durga
I was like,
Puja and
okay, I
all.
should do one. It was like to get the confidence because, when somehow I had lost my confidence at that phase of life, 2017. So it helped me get my
Hmm.
confidence back as well that I can do it. And when I look back, when you're doing it, you are like thinking कि यार क्या मतलब there are times कि यार क्या कहाँ सर डाल दिया, and how did you get into it. घर पे अच्छा चिल मार रहे थे, मम्मी खाना दे के जा रही थी, पापा चाय दे के जा रहे थे, like what got into you to do this, especially when you're at home, your parents, and you visit them just 10 days a month, they really pamper you. So I'm like, yeah, I was like
Yeah.
doing well at home. Mom was giving food and dad was like giving tea. So yeah. uh, but after that 9 days, when you look back, that you've done these roads, 10 kilometers 7 hours. So when Google Maps shows 100 kilometers 7 hours, you know what you're in for.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, so Abhishek is asking around Bangalore. I mean, he's saying that Bangalore has some amazing riding routes, which one is your favorite around that? I mean, something that you
Bangalore
can
has,
talk about around
yes.
Bangalore.
The closest around Bangalore could be Magni Road exit. They have really nice twisted roads. So the closest road, the closest exit where you want nice ghat sections is that Around Bangalore, that would be my like the closest. You want to go for nice corners, so I go out on the Magadi exit in the nice road, and it's really nice, gentle sea curves. But yeah, the closest another favorite destination would be like dip around Wayanad. Go through it a
Hmm.
little longer way, like not the usual way, but the Gudlur forest, so you get nice corners. And Dhanushkodi will be one of my most favorite destinations around Bangalore. It's just peaceful, calm sea, no commercialization, and it's like a private beach for kilometers together. Like even on New Year's,
Absolutely.
there is no crowd. Like New Year's evening, it's just you, the beach, and the sea, and your bike. So it's a lovely place, and the
Yeah, Kalpana says Dhanush Kodi is lovely, and I agree to that. I've been there like thrice, and yeah, I have not seen a better place on the coastal line other than Dhanush Kodi. I mean, the drive itself is amazing and super
the
beautiful.
last 10 kilometers, I shunt up at least 10 times a day, like, just go back, come, go, come. So, that's so, ride just becomes worth it.
Yeah, and then the blue waters through which you ride and the white sand. And the roads are amazing. So you just don't have to worry about any potholes or any off-road stuff or anything suddenly coming into your way. You can just enjoy the view and ride through. That makes it really amazing to go through that place. Yeah. So yeah, Sonali, so you have traveled solo. You have done a lot of Bangalore, Kolkata ride and all that. What is the one thing that you think you need to have with you all the time, whether you're riding solo or even otherwise?
On rides, your protective gears are very important. Your helmet, your jacket, knee guards, good shoes, even if it's not a touring shoes, a shoes that covers your ankle, gloves, and a full face helmet, definitely.
Yeah, I
And yeah,
insist. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
besides all of this, spirit for adventure or to learn, and the confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I insist on people wearing full face helmet because that gives you the maximum protection as against any half face or a modular helmet. Like when you have a fall, definitely the full face helmet saves your face big time. So Abhishek also wants to know how did the racing bug start and what drew you to it? Like why did you get into racing as such?
That thing was always there. That what you call Kida was always there, but you never got a chance to. Because we didn't even know that something like this, because coming from a non-biking background, or if there's nobody near, you're a complete professional techie, go to office, come back, and just you're just left with 2 hours in the day to manage besides your sleep and office. So
Yeah,
wasn't even knowing that something like this exists. But when we got a chance, it was like, okay, we can live our dreams. So yeah, my intent was just take part, feel how it goes, learn the discipline, because I anyways used to go to track to practice. Because I
Mhm.
think track is the best place to practice and learn all your maneuvers, and you can even become a better street rider if you ride in the track, because there are no wrong side traffic coming your way. There's an instructor correcting your body posture, and there is you don't have to fear an animal crossing or somebody wrong side, so you can totally unleash yourself
Right.
that
Yeah.
ways. So when I learned about racing, I was like, okay, maybe although a little late to start, when because most of the racers, they are in their late teens, and some of them are even in their early teens. So after working for 7 years, you're like, racing. I'm like, okay, let's go for it. At least live and experience what it is like. So it
Yeah.
requires a lot of discipline. It is not a very, at that, they are people, like, I know I have got tired only after 200 kilometers of riding, like, when I was practicing in the track for 2 days. And
Uh-huh.
after that, I walk. Uh, Whereas, when you ride 1,000 kilometers, it's just still so fine. And 200 kilometers of track, and your legs are aching like anything, that you literally like squeak when you walk.
Yeah, because you have to maintain that same posture and then you can't relax
Because you're
yourself. And
constantly moving. In the bike, in the tour, you're just sitting like this and okay, going. Track, you're constantly changing your body position every second. Like either you're turning left, turning right, getting up and shifting your body to the left, shifting your body to the right. So every moment you're doing an activity. So even 2 days, it really, you're tired by the end of it, especially if you're not used to it, because your muscles,
yeah,
uh, maybe if I go there again, without a gap, it will be fine because, it's in the muscle memory, those movements. But suddenly it kind of is a little tiring.
yeah. And I think it's better to race on the track. I mean, to learn to race on the track rather than doing it on the road because, I mean, on the road nothing is definite. And whereas in the race track, you have a controlled environment where you know you have to go here or you have to go there. Or, I mean, you have a freedom where you don't have any sudden surprises coming onto you. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So have you participated in any races, or have you just
Yeah,
practiced
I
out there?
participated in two of these races that comes under Group D National Championship in 2016 and 2017.
Nice. And where was it conducted?
In Chennai and in Coimbatore. So we have three race circuits in India: Chennai, Coimbatore, and Delhi. The Delhi one I just got a chance to ride because it was a Yamaha event and I'm a big time Yamaha fan. So
Okay.
it was called Lorenzo was visiting India and 30 of the Yamaha riders were called to ride along with him in Buddh Circuit in Delhi. So that was
Wow.
2015. So it was a memorable, firstly you go to ride in Buddh Circuit and F1 track and then you're riding along with international racers. So yeah, it was an amazing experience.
I can imagine that, like all butterflies in the stomach to actually ride with an international rider, and that also a well-known person who has, uh, I mean, who
Yeah,
is like one
he
of
had
the stars in the track.
he had won MotoGP 2015. He was the MotoGP champion that year.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, so Sonali, like, do you still go on the racetracks to practice, or are you? What do you?
I would
Uh,
like to go back. I had an injury last year, so I couldn't for continue. So waiting to heal and then get back. I had plans this year, but then thanks to the situation around, let's see how it goes.
yeah. So what are your
So
future riding
it
plans?
feels my future riding plans would be like I wanted to go to Kishtawar Killa Road. I've done Leh Ladakh circuit. I've done the Spiti circuit. Only this was pending in the northern side. Like a lot is pending, but still in one of those adventurous road, Kishtawar Pangi Road, those cliffhanger roads where
Yeah.
it's just the bike and then it's a drop. So that's it. My current bike is R3, Yamaha R3. I am a sports bike fan, so I tour on that only. Uh, I had an R 5 version too, and then I upgraded to R3 because something that, my bike never gave up on me in the last 4 years. So, you kind of trust the brand because being female riders, you cannot afford breakdowns on highway, like in terms of safety as well.
Yeah, and
And
I think even a breakdown unnecessarily waste your time and then getting the help and all that is another.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
becomes tricky because you're
it,
vulnerable. See, as long as I'm
yeah,
riding at 70 kilometers, 100 kilometers per hour, people don't know whether it's a rock, a girl, a boy, what just
absolutely,
went by, they have no idea. And when you're in
yeah,
gears, you're fully covered. So people can't make out. So another thing which I would like to share for female riders is, your safety is with you. So I do not stop at random deserted places to take pictures, no matter how beautiful the view is, because even if I stop, that 2 minutes, you even you take your gloves off, you click, so you are stopping there, and taking helmet off is like exposing your identity. And so I usually don't stop at very deserted places, and even for the dhabas, I look for a family car or some kind of vehicles for the pit stops as well. I do look that there are some folks around. It's just not full of trucks, so that ways I do keep a checkout.
so Abhishek is asking
And
if you did the
wherever
lace
you
circuit
go,
on. Yeah, sorry,
wherever
go
you
ahead.
go, I think we we should not offend, or you should just be, whether it's nature or people or villages, never break the local balance. Don't try to do something that the villagers will get offended. Try to gel in with them, and they will be more than supportive and sweet to you. Uh,
Yeah.
anything that doesn't go with their traditional places or their beliefs, just not try to do something when you stop, which like play loud music outside. Like for us it may be a temple, but some people, okay, will put the loudspeaker. So just try, even if you go to a jungle, try to be in the harmony, and it will be an amazing experience.
Correct. And yeah, can you share something about your trek? You like you love to go trekking as well, right? So, any significant places that you have trekked, or is it
I have trekked around Karnataka. Not many Himalayan treks, although Goenchala was in pipeline. Goenchala and Chadar is in pipeline for my trek, but I
uh,
didn't get a chance with office and with so many schedules. You plan and you may get a project, so it's not that I'm just into biking, right? So that
yeah.
kind of becomes so. Bangalore has some amazing trekking circuits around because of the weather. You can go
Mm.
any time of the year. Like it's never too hot or never too cold. And within 50, 60 kilometers, there are some amazing destinations where you can do a night trek, climb up for 2 hours, stay there, watch the sunrise, climb down for 1 hour. So Antargange is one of the closest trekking place in near Bangalore, which we have done, and mostly it's night ride only. We start after dinner, 11 o'clock, reach the base by 12, start climbing by 12:30. You're up by 2:30. Sleep, rest till 5, watch the sunrise, start walking down at 6. You're down by 7, have breakfast, and come home and sleep. And the long treks I've done from Baba Budangiri to Mulayangiri. Then the highest peak in Coorg is Tadian Mol, that I've done. Then there was an abandoned railway track a couple of years back. Now there are railway tracks. So it's an 18
Mm.
kilometers railway track from in Sakleshpur, Yadakumari to
Okay.
Donigal.
Uh,
And no Maharashtra forts. I get vertigos even looking at the fort videos of Maharashtra. I don't know how you guys do it. Like, even when I look at those videos, I'm like, dude, no safety gears. How are you guys doing it? So, yeah, it looks a little too adventurous for me for now. And there is like a lot of places. Ombati Gutta is there. KP I didn't know go because I'm scared of leeches. Like Agumbe,
oh.
KP. There's Agumbe
Mm.
is famous for vipers, so no. And Kumar is the highest peak in Karnataka. But the initial part of the climb, you have leeches, and I've been bitten by leeches also before. Oh my
Okay.
God. And that's like that fear factor that you have creepy crawly creatures. And one of these treks, when we had done Sakleshpur, the trip leader got carried away by the street water because he was carrying a
Okay.
tent, the
Oh.
surface area, and by the time he was crossing the last. And this we came to know after 4 years, that they release the water from the dam periodically. So when the first person
Yeah.
was crossing, it was around the knee. When we were
Mm.
crossing the river, it was around the waist. So when that fellow was
Okay.
crossing, it was somewhere around the chest. And that too, he was wearing the portable tent, so he got carried away. And then we
Oh.
had
Oh.
to rescue him. And that was one adventure.
I can understand. Yeah, so Lalit and me have been trekking to quite some forts in Maharashtra, and we love that trekking. Yeah, it's heaven, and especially during the monsoons, the greenery that you can see around is really amazing. And come monsoons, you will see a lot of trekkers. Of course, not now due to this COVID thing, but yeah, the minute monsoon starts and there are trekkers going around everywhere to almost all parts of Maharashtra, all the forts, all the waterfalls and everything. It's amazingly beautiful. Like I mean, uh, something like you are getting into heaven. So yeah,
I've seen the
that's why
videos.
I
They look very pretty. And it
yeah,
looks
some of the
equally scary as well.
yeah, some of the mountains are treacherous to climb, but yeah, the tour leaders, as in the trek guides, they really take you around in the best safest way, and there are very few mishaps that actually happen in those places. So, yeah, even Kalpana goes out trekking, so that's why she's saying Sahyadri trek is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard
So
all these names. It's just that probably I didn't get a chance to go to Pune, and when I go, there's just so many people to meet, talk, chit chat, that I didn't get a chance. I would have to take time out and go. But yeah,
yeah, come
something that
down
I
sometime.
always wanted to do ex Pune was Lavasa, like seeing all the power drift videos, you know. So on the way back from Mumbai, I took a break in Pune exclusively to go to Lavasa, and I was especially, you know, I'm fascinated by Daytona, but I'm like someday when I get a Daytona, maybe, but let me do it in my R15 only for now. So it was like you know, because you keep seeing those roads in the power drift videos, and it's just so amazing, those corners and ghat sections. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can come down sometime to Mumbai or to Pune, and then we can go trekking from there when things open up, of course. But yeah, we can
Let
definitely.
this let this COVID subside, and I'll definitely come.
Yes, you have to. We can all take a ride and a trek. So some of the forts you can actually ride up to the base of it and then go climbing the fort. And yeah, there are base villages where we park the vehicles and go trekking to a lot of these mountains and things like that. Yeah, so you can definitely come with us on that. So yeah, you said your parents were a little jittery about you going solo, as in riding solo
Yes,
to their first trip. But otherwise,
yes.
how do you feel about you riding a motorcycle, and how supportive have they been?
Like any other Indian home, they weren't too keen or they weren't too happy with the news initially. But you know, they're like, why? And because they are more concerned about what society will say. And you know, a lot of people tell my father that, you know, you allowed her and this is why this happened otherwise. So they kind of, they don't have, they can't come, they usually don't tell us anything, but they have to listen, right? So
Yeah,
they were apprehensive on their own thing. But now once I did Ladakh, you know, my dad was like, till then he was like, pata nahi kya kar rahe ho, anyways do what you feel like, ab to bade ho gaye ho, apni marzi ke, that emotional thing that they kind of
yeah,
push
yeah,
me to do. So but after I did Ladakh, he was very proud of me, and he said, you know, because he knows how difficult the terrain is. He was a pilot before and he has flown over those areas, so he knows that there are no support, and they are prepared how the roads are and how things are. So once he like okay, good. And now he proudly tells his friend, "This is my daughter. She rides a bike and she thinks nothing less than 1,000 kilometers a day." So you know, earlier he would not tell, but now when he comes to Bangalore for to HL to train sometimes, so I go to meet him, and then he'll introduce me to his friends, like, "Oh, this is my daughter," and I've named my bike Dhruv on the aircraft they fly. So they're like,
okay,
you know what, she's named her bike Dhruv, and because I had shortly been to Daman before that thing. So Daman is like 1,250 kilometers something from Bangalore.
yeah.
So they're like,
Huh.
ये लोग ऐसे जाके आ जाते हैं. And after I did Sikkim also, because he has gone to all those routes and he knows that there are actually no roads and there is no dhaba food, nothing across these places, and they are like extremely cold. They just
Yeah,
go pick up patients and come back. So they know how
correct.
difficult it is to stay there. Those heights are like, you know, 16, 15,000, 16,000. So after that, he has been very supportive. He in fact helps me plan. If I involve him, he will be supportive and he's willing to contribute, because I was not working and I was doing this out of my savings. But he's like, if you need funds, I can give you. I'm like, no, it's not needed. But if I need, I'll let you know. Don't worry.
That's
So
amazing.
that's
Like having the support from your parents is the best thing that that actually motivates you or pushes you to do something that you have always wanted to do. So, Sonali, coming to all the destinations that you covered, which is the one destination that you think you want to cover? Um,
Meghalaya was on cards for me this time. Upper Mustang in Nepal, Meghalaya. I wanted to do that root bridge and that waterfall. I am not getting the name, and that lake, DWAK. I don't know how to pronounce it. So that was on the cards, and that ways. My thing is, let me. There's so much in India to explore that, you know. I really don't want to go abroad and ride for now. It's like, we have everything. We have the hills, we have the mountains, we have forests, we have deserts. We have deserts in the mountains, like
Yeah.
Ladakh, Nubra. So we have every kind. We have forest in Chhattisgarh. We have a 4,000-kilometer coastline. We have like places like Switzerland in Chopta and in Shillong. So yeah.
Cool, cool. So, do you love riding solo, or do you love riding in groups? I mean, what's your choice?
Preferably, solo is a very dangerous thing. Once you do solo, you don't like to get back to a group because it and it's scary at first, but you can stop wherever you want, and if you don't want to stop, don't stop. When you're in a group, you at times forced to stop, even if you're in a good mood to ride, because somebody needs to refill, somebody needs to smoke, somebody needs to have a chai break. So you end up stopping, and those stops kind of make you tired, and then people will be riding when you are sleepy or tired. And so when you go solo, and you get to learn a lot, you experience
Yeah,
the place when you're solo, because when you stop, you talk to the tea shop guy. Oh bhaiya, momo kaise banate ho, teach me. Or what about this place, things like that. And when you are in a group, you will talk the same thing about
correct.
Bangalore or some the last Bollywood movie, or how things are at your office. It's the same
Yeah,
small talk we have in our city lives that we carry forward on our trips. But if you are going solo, you learn and meet new people, and you share their experience.
yeah. I agree to that. So I do solos as well as groups also. But then the kind of freedom that you get when you're doing a solo is absolutely an experience. As in, and you open up to talking to people. Even if you're an introvert, because you need to talk to people, you will go ahead and talk something to someone. You try to know uh, what is around or how the people are, and a lot of things, their culture, their tradition, how things work there, and all that. So, yeah, I too prefer, like, I prefer a solo ride to a group ride, definitely, especially after I've done my solo tours across India. So, yeah, I agree to that big time. So, yeah,
And
Sonali, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And it helps you grow your, probably for folks like us, it helps you become like introverts and all. Ki chalo, now you're forced to talk to strangers. So good you come out of your shell. And a lot of times,
Yeah,
talking to stranger helps, because I am not in that bracket that, oh, I may get judged, or you can just be only,
yeah.
you don't have to think much. You can just be yourself without being the fear of being judged.
Yeah, it's kind of a personality development program when you go on a solo trip.
Yeah,
You can just
for people who have problem talking. Now that we are talking about bikes, I'm talking so much, but then I don't know. Beyond bikes, conversations are like, okay, now what to talk? It gets a little awkward.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, getting onto a common platform, then we can talk. And definitely, bikes is like a never-ending story that keeps on going and going and going and going. I mean, there's so many things to talk about bikes and the bike trips and the road trips, your experience and everything. So yeah, definitely. I think we should all the bike lovers should encourage more of bike riding with people around our place. Definitely. So, Sonali, thank you very much for joining us on this amazing show, and I hope you enjoyed talking about your rides and sharing your experiences with us. Is there any message that you would like to give us?
Yeah, one message, as I said, that life is too short, enjoy it to the fullest. And there's so much vastness. And this realization came, there's a small story, I'll conclude with that. I suffer with AMS, okay? So, uh, when I go up on the altitude, my oxygen level just drops. And this I realized when my first trip to Ladakh. Evening times, the air oxygen gets low, and by 6 o'clock we were in Pang, and it was like dropping somewhere close to 50. Now with the COVID thing, people know what 50 level is, because below 90
Definitely.
is dangerous. Other than before COVID, people won't understand that, okay, it's fallen to 50. What about it? Now with the COVID thing, people know that below 90 is dangerous. So it was around 50, and when I didn't know it's dangerous, so I was like 50, and my trip lead is, okay, get in the car and we transport you to Leh immediately. And I'm still dancing around. He said, Sonali, if we see you dancing around, we will send. And the army people gave me a free medicine, and I'm like, "Arey, free ka medicine mila." Wow. He's like, look at this idiot. She's about to die and she's dancing on, "Arey, free ka dawai mila." So they put me in a car and they send me off to Leh. So 3.5 hours we are driving to Leh. We reached 10 o'clock at the Leh hospital, and they put me on ventilator immediately.
Okay.
And so that is when it started sinking in. And there's a guy next to me also. He was a mountaineer, German mountaineer. His wife is sitting next to him, and that is where it sunk. Okay, this is serious shit. Okay, like let me get serious about it. And I was there for 12 hours, and that is when you get thinking that there is so much more to this realization came then कि यार कितना कुछ है करने को हम छोटी छोटी बातों को लेके, when you know that near that moment, and you're grateful to the life that you have then on. So
Yeah.
yeah, since then, even when I came back to the city earlier, if some friend would say movie jana and they cancel, I would just get, you said movie jana hai, how can you cancel now? Like now if someone says ki अरे काम आ गया movie cancel, I'm like cool, I'll go alone. Like ठीक है, like I will ask once. I'm not, I've changed since up from like a person. Like, I was the typical girl. You said you will take. How can you not take? Like, get on to it. But now, ठीक है. And then you're like, what happened? You went to the movie. I thought we'll go tomorrow. I said, no, you said no. So I went ahead. Cool. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these small things which actually impact. I mean, it impacts our life and teaches us how to let go of our past and how to let go of our
yeah, it changes your outlook also.
positiveness.
Like, you don't a lot of times if somebody forgets to call, अरे मुझे लगा तू गुस्सा हो जाएगी मैंने फोन नहीं उठाया, I'm like नहीं यार, होता है, सो रहे होते हैं, there are things happening, मैं गुस्सा क्यों होंगी बैठे बैठाए, like uh, why should I simply get angry? So yeah, your kind of outlook changes. Then when people think that, oh, I didn't answer your call, you didn't, so I said, even I don't answer, you may be sleeping, eating, doing whatever you want, like I really don't want to even know what you are doing, but it's okay.
Yeah, as long as we enjoy our moment, I think that's the best thing. And it doesn't really matter whether you have someone with you or no. I mean, as long as like the way we let go and don't make a big fuss about it, that itself makes us enjoy the moment and live to the current. So yes, I agree with you. We should all live our life to the fullest. Enjoy the smallest things in life that come to you, and the biggest things, of course. But don't just
And
waste all the small things for the big ones.
be grateful to whatever you have, and things
Yes.
work, they fall in place. Not today, if not today, tomorrow, but someday it will fall in place, and just be happy, it will be sooner. If you have a positive attitude, it will fall in place sooner than uh, what it is supposed
Yeah,
to.
sooner than later. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Sonali. It was wonderful talking to you. And thanks for sharing all your knowledge and your experience. I'm sure everyone in the audience also liked it. And people like you, people like me, Kalpana, and all of us, like we definitely want to have a life to live in the present rather than thinking about the future or the past and just wasting our time off. So yes, guys, like
Nice
Sonali
talking and
said,
sharing my experience. If anybody has any questions other than that, feel free to drop a private message. I'll reply. Not today, not tomorrow. When I see, I'll reply. And a
yeah,
message to all female riders, especially to all riders, that always gear up, even if it's for the shortest distance. It is not that अरे petrol भराने जा रहे हैं तो just because it's 500 meters accident नहीं होगा. It can happen anytime, and we are more careless around our houses.
yeah,
So always gear up, and for female riders, that your safety is in your hand. Don't do anything to annoy the local people when you're traveling, and don't stop at unknown places. Look where you're stopping, and just keep like in the dhaba, when you this I learned from one of my very good friends, Carol, from Goa. We were touring, so when we were parking the bike, I just go park. She's like, always park the bike when you're ready to leave, so that if something happens, you can just start and go. You are not at that time turning, and also whenever you stop solo, park your bike in a way that you can just start and leave within. So that is one thing which was really helpful. After that, I make point, when I stop, I park it so that I can just start and leave.
Cool, cool. Thanks for everything, Sonali, and have a lovely Sunday. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, we will see you around. We will ride with you sometime, someday, definitely. And if you come
Yeah,
around here,
someday.
please let's meet up. Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
bye bye. Bye, everyone.